I'm back again. I hope. I'm restarting, redoing, all that fun shit. Hey, it really zippity-doo-dah up this time, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But this is Grammy Mary. I am back again with my rocket chair. I'm hoping to God I will be able to finish this ride before I have to stop for another freaking pit stop. You gotta love modern technology, because if you didn't love it, you would drop kick someone through the goalposts alive. And I've had a wonderful day. What the hell? Don't be raining on my... Oh, okay, wait a minute. I do want some rain. It could rain. I would let it rain. Don't you wish it would rain? Yes, I do. I wish it would rain. Okay. Yeah. It's, I am on. I am on. Well, I keep getting an error, Grimmy. So, I don't know what the... Now I'm encoding. I don't know what the hell. Hi, guys. Hi. I'm not going to open up any other links. I'm not going to do none of that shit. I fucking errored out again. So, I'm just going to, yeah, keep trying. For those of you that can listen, I'm also on the Spreaker channel. So, let me... Oh, I'm afraid to open the Spreaker link, though. Because I don't want to error shit out. Come on. Just do it. Just do it. You know you want to. Okay. Let me do this too. I don't know what the hell. What the hell? Damn thing. It wouldn't be the heat, would it? Well, unless that's messing with our chicken shit cheap ass. Yeah. I shouldn't say chicken shit cheap ass, but yeah, it is. Thanks, cowboy. I keep getting this thing telling me error. 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 I was having a wonderful day. I'm still having a wonderful day because I'm alive. I'm breathing even though I'm melting. But I'm going to go ahead and share the Spreaker link as well. Because that one will hopefully keep going. Hi, Vince. Okay. Shit. Okay. Okay, yeah, heat tends to make chicken shit smell. That is for darn sure. I'm just wondering if it makes it melt as well. Thank you, Barman, for tweeting that again. And yeah, if I fall off, guys, I didn't fall off the edge of the world because, yeah, it's close, but I'm not at the edge. You have to drive about 50 miles before you fall off. Okay. And I just got a freaking error again. Thank you for that. And now I'm encoding again. Thank you. Would you stop that? I wonder if it's that PC cleaner. I don't know. Something is hogging my bandwidth. Stop it. Stop it. You are able to send the data fast enough. You know you are. Just do it. Stop it. No. I don't want that. Stop it. Do it again. Just do it. Fudge! I am literally melting down. Oh, God. Okay, thank you, cowboy. Yeah, because I keep getting this error encoding, resuming, yada, 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 bullshit, yada, 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 yada. So I'm going to just keep going like I know what I'm doing, even though I don't know what I'm doing. So, there you go. Oh, Mary B is hearing music. Well, Mary B, honey, I should kick in now because I'm having a meltdown. So, at least I'm having a good time with it. Damn it. Damn it all. Okay. Let me look at this. Thank you, Darwin. I love you too. Now I am going to close that. I'm going to close a few things so that I don't have too much of a strain on. I won't be able to see people's except for on yeah, RLM, because y'all will keep me informed. So, well, hon, my line is wireless out here. Because, yeah, I'm in the boonies. And the wireless thing is on top of the elevator that's across the highway from me. And that signal comes from town, which is about 9 miles away. So, yeah, I was not shitting you guys when I said tin can and string, okay? So, just so you know. Um, Oy vey. Okay, I'm going to finish saying hey there, hi there, ho there to everybody, even through my broken string and tin can. It could be the signal strength, cowboy, and I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow, and I'm gonna say, hey guys, come on, seriously, I am paying as much out here for what I paid in town for phone and internet, and the internet sucks. So god dang it, do something, okay? Because this is ridiculous. In any case, and there are no other options, by the way. Unless I want to do like Dish Network internet, and that totally sucks as well. Been there, done that. So, okay, saying hey there, hi there, ho there. I've already said hey there. I saw Asmo's underpants because I looked up and oh my god, I'm traumatized for life, which is probably why my stream is screwed up now. And I said hey to Barman, but I'm saying it again. Hey there, lovely Betsy. Hello, hello, hello. And Cowboy Tech, who is keeping me informed that my signal may be screwed up, but hey, it's tin can and string. I'll have to get me some baling wire. Or something. Copper wire. There you go. I also said hey to Grimner, but I haven't said hey to Moose Girl yet. Hey there, Moosey. How you doing? Is it this weekend that you're going to be gone, sweetheart? Because I'll be gone the next weekend. Because the next weekend is family reunion time. So, although I will be on Freaker Friday night, that Friday night, it's just that I will be leaving as soon as I get done with my rocket chair to go down and help my mother with some final details. So, I also see the lovely Kate is here. Hey there, woman. How you doing? I hope you're not melting down there in the big state of Texas. And looky there, trust no one. Oh, she'll be going to the Blue Ox this weekend. Okay. That sounds like a bar. Sounds like a bar that I've probably been to in my younger days. Don't do that shit no more. Mainly because I can't freaking afford to go to freaking bars. Besides the fact that, yeah, one drink and I'm done. One and done. Pretty much. That's it. Okay. Kate. Trust no one. That's right. Trust no one because of dirty bastards. Okay. Well, maybe, just maybe, if I have internet on Friday, I may have to call Grammy and give him shit on Friday. Just for shits and giggles. Because, don't you know? Yeah, I know. I used to be a wild partying woman, and now I'm just a wild woman. So, I got rid of the partying part. Moosey is still young enough she can do that partying thing. So, there you go. I will leave it up to you, Moosey, and I will live vicariously through you. Because that's how I roll. Okay. I also see IB Don C is here, as well as Java Doctor 2, the new and improved version. And looky there, Juana Taco is here, which sounds absolutely wonderful. I am starving right now because I haven't had supper, and I had yogurt for lunch. Because it was a busy day. It was a very busy day for me, but I was a very productive Grammy today. So there you go. I was a good little worker bee. I also see Meisterbrower is here. Hey there, young man. How you doing? Party? You and Moosey are still young enough to party. Moi? I am young enough to party, but old bones don't heal as well as they used to. And I don't recuperate from hangovers nearly as quickly as I used to. So therefore, I just don't go there. Yeah, don't you know? I also see P. Bunyan is here. Hey there, darling, and congrats on your going to be a GP Bunyan soon. And looky there, Solvanor is still logged in, although I do believe Solvanor is probably sawing logs because it is dark 30 in his neck of the woods. I also see. Let's see, who is that? That's one of them there people that's always wow. You never know which personality's gonna show up. Yeah, it's Vin's phone. Vin's phone. Is that like a phone home kind of thing? So the Skeeters haven't carted you off yet, Vin's phone? Just wait, they will. Yeah, I am most definitely a cheap date. I'm a one and done. Just it pretty much that with any kind of, chemical enhancement. That's how I'm gonna put it. One and done. I also see Chalcedony is here. Although Chalcedony, are you gonna talk to me at all? Ever? Hun? You're so quiet. It makes me nervous. And looky there, Chloe is here. Hi, Chloe. How you doing? And I'm here. I'm here, and I am still encoding. I'm still working. I'm working. I'm working. Hey, it works. What do you expect for free? Better not expect much. Not out of me. See, I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. And my feet are not Longfellows. They're just kind of average size for a dumb old girl. But they got a tan already, I'm just saying. And to round out the crew, the one, the only, the lovely lady from down under, the lovely Mary B. Mary B, how about I send you some of my heat, and you send me some of your frigid temps, and between the two of us, we'll be happy little campers. How's that sound? I would be a very happy little camper if we could do that. Yes, I would. Okay, seeing as how I'm doing so well, should I push it? Should I be brave? I'm going to try and be brave. I'm going to open a link. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Yes, I am. I'm going to watch my Samzo and make sure it doesn't mess with nothing. Da, 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 da. Hi, Becca. Okay, let me. Hi, Patrick. Okay, what? Okay. Hi there. And Francis. Hi, Francis. I see you. I got to make sure I'm still, I'm still good. Okay, I don't know about that, but hey, I'm here. I'm back. There you go. That'll keep them guessing. Stop it. I don't care. Stop it. That's still working. Okay. Hey there, hi there, ho there. What's going on? Okay. I'm going to go to this link because I saw it last week, I believe. And I stuck it in my pocket because I thought, wow, this is so awesome. And yesterday I was putting all kinds of things in my pocket because I was in a foul mood yesterday. I really was. I will admit. I was in one of those moods. I snapped it at coworkers. A couple of them really deserved it. But that's regardless. Oh, well. That's a cool kind of winter there, Mary B. I would take that. I would take that for a winter weather. In any case, as I was saying, yesterday I was actually it kind of started out, Monday night. I had the doldrums / pouty kind of sort of creep in on me, and I don't know where in the hell it came from, but man, it creeped in on me and grabbed hold of me real serious yesterday. And I'm, lots of things going on, and work was making me nuts and all kinds of other fun shit. So I was a little on the down in the dump side. And it's really kind of funny when I am noticing, and y'all can think I'm crazy. I don't care. I think y'all know I'm crazy, but I enjoy it. I do not suffer from insanity. I enjoy every bit of it. It's those around me that suffer, and that's just because they ain't got a sense of humor. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. In any case, when you're in a pissy mood, when you're in a down mood, when you're in a depressed mood, you tend to see a lot of things that are Debbie Downers, that are depressing, that are things that piss you off. Have you noticed that? I notice that with myself, at least. I see all kinds of things that it's like, it's fucking pissing me off. F-bomb, by the way. And I've said several already, but yeah. Let's just not go there. Okay, so yesterday I was seeing a lot of Debbie Downer links. And a lot of links that were really pissing me off. And then I shared a couple of memes over on Facebook, and some conversations ensued that, whether that was the intent or not, I took it as a red flag in front of a bull. And I snorted, and I started digging my front hooves in, and I was getting ready to charge. And I did charge a couple of times. And I started venting and letting some evil spirits out of the building. And some of those evil spirits had caused some eye leakage as well, which I think was probably what I needed. Probably what I needed, because I had to step away and tend to some serious eye leakage for a while there. And I think it's because I was frustrated and I was depressed, although I really wasn't sure why I was depressed, but I was frustrated, I was depressed, I was cranky, But once the eye leakage went away, once I laid down and took like a 10-minute cat nap, I was better. I needed to reboot myself. And everybody needs to do that sometimes. And that's why I'm kind of letting you know, because even me, the giggle queen, I giggle an awful lot. I really do. And even when I'm very frustrated, I have a tendency to giggle, because I would much rather laugh than cry, because trust me, I look way better smiling than I do making that ugly cry face. So but yeah, even I get bummer duded, and there are times when I have eye leakage going on, and there's times when I don't even freaking know why. It's just my eyes just start leaking. They just do. And then I'm just a puddle for a while. But once I get over that, once I get it out of my system, once I do that reboot, I'm good again. And today I had a couple of eye leakage moments, but they were happy eye leakage. They were beautiful. They were, oh my God, that's absolutely amazing. Wow, that is just so awesome. I am in awe kind of eye leakage. And I much prefer those to the way I was last night. But you got to confront that stuff. You got to deal with that stuff. And another thing I did last night was once I'd gotten it out of my system, once I'd kind of said what I needed to say, I went outside and I talked to my star ceiling. I had a nice long conversation with it. It didn't say a shitting thing back to me, but it didn't need to, because I already knew. I just needed to hear it out loud. And I think that's what a lot of people need. Sometimes you just need a little alone time, a little quiet time, a little step outside and talk to that starlit ceiling. And tell it all your problems. Tell it all your woes. Get it out. Because trust me, it's a wonderful reboot when you do that. It really is. And I had so many ugly links that I'd stuck in my pocket yesterday. Ugly, nasty, horrid things that reminded me of things from way yonder, long time ago, that are things that have left scars. And they just kind of kept picking at them scars. You know, which is probably what, and that's one thing that I acknowledged last night was, yeah, once I started down that path, I kept going down that path and I kept adding to whatever was being abrasive to those scars. And I needed to, if I would have just stepped away, it would have been fine. But I didn't. But sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you just plain need to go there and deal with that scar. Deal with that sore spot on that scar and get it out. And then move on. And that's what I've done. I got it out, and I'm moving on. And I'm not going to any of those links that I put in my pocket yesterday because they're all Debbie Downers, and I just don't want to go there. Oh, Grammy, I am going to have to go there. Do I really want to go? Portland is like, yeah. That's a haven for liberalitis, isn't it? Isn't that where it started? No, that's not where it started. But yeah, it is a haven for those that are suffering from liberalitis. And I'm not talking the dictionary definition of what a liberal is. I'm talking the, yeah. The definition of a, what? It is, yeah, it's a liberal center, and I'm not real sure where the liberal center is in Kansas. I don't know if we have one. Okay, come on, don't be doing that. I'm checking my signal strength as well, because I don't. Yep. I'm going to see if I can go there, Grim, but if it fucks with my stream, I'm gonna shut it off. Just saying. Okay, from NBCnews.com. Man confirmed dead after fall in Yellowstone hot spring. Only 23. Wow. That is definitely a Darwin Award winner. Definitely. Definitely. Kmart sucks. Officials at the Yellowstone National Park have confirmed that an Oregon man reported to have fallen in a hot spring Tuesday was killed. Colin Nathaniel Scott of Portland slipped and fell in a hot spring near Pork Chop Geyser. Honey, I'm thinking the reason why it's called Pork Chop is because it'll frickin' roast ya. Did you get too close? Rangers confirmed Scott's death Tuesday evening. An effort to retrieve his remains was called off Wednesday because there was nothing that could safely be recovered. Holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. He's one of them guys over in China, and he is like constantly, yeah, it's always, if somebody done it, it was holy shit. He does everything. If it's amazing, if it's remarkable, if it's totally asinine, holy shit, probably did it. Apparently his sister saw the accident and reported it to authorities. Oh my God, bless her heart. Oh, that would be a rough one. That would be a rough one. People. You know, they have signs for a reason. Read. It's good. Reading is fundamental, and it will keep you alive. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. Okay. That's a Debbie Downer one, Grim, and I really don't want to go there. Although it's like, wow, dude, seriously? Yeah. Gotta agree with your, premise there, Grimmy. Gotta agree with that, but wow. It is, wow, his sister saw that. That's a trauma. That's a scar. That's a scar that she will have for quite a while. Oh, military secretive about GPS blackouts over California. Ah, well, fuck them. God dang it. Somebody needs to drop kick them. Sons of bitches. But I'm not anywhere close to California. Mexifornia is way over yonder. It's over 2 mountain ranges away from me. But that don't mean that they can't be messing with me. Just saying. Because, yeah, I'm out here in that great big flat area where the earth is flat. Yeah, I'm sure it is a much larger area than Mexifornia, but or California, however you want to call that. I'm going to go to this, okay? Because this is something history lesson, and while I have signal, I'm going to give you a history lesson, a little bit of one, at least. This is written by Jim Powell over on libertarianism.org. And it's entitled Self-Ownership, a Biography of Lysander Spooner. You know, I don't remember learning about him in high school. And college, I took college outreach classes. That's about the only college I could afford because I started working when I was young. So, and if I would have gone to college, it would have had to been on good grades. Yeah. Or, yeah, paying my own way. And seeing as how I didn't have the money to pay my own way, that didn't happen, except for a few outreach classes. I got my education at the School of Hard Knocks. And I am still studying there. Right now I'm going for my master's degree in being a Grammy. I am learning all the ins and outs of how to be a proper Grammy and how to play with your grandchild and how to relive your youth through your grandchildren and to open up that youthful eye again through your grandchildren, because that's what my grandchildren did for me. In any case, back to this lovely, lovely little blog, article, whatever you wish to call it. The greatest natural rights thinker of the 19th century was the American lawyer and maverick individualist Lysander Spooner. He responded to the tumultuous events of his era, including the Panic of 1837 and the Civil War, with pamphlets about natural rights, slavery, money, trial by jury, and other timely subjects that are also quite relevant now. Lysander Spooner deserves a place of honor, declared Boston University law professor Randy E. Barnett, both for the principles for which he stood against the crowd and for the brilliance with which he defended those principles. Intellectual historian George H. Smith called Spooner one of the greatest libertarian theorists, which it's only a theory if you don't put it into action, hon. If you put it into action, it's no longer a theory. Spooner spoke with bold clarity the enactment and enforcement of unjust laws that are the greatest crimes that are committed by man against man. The crimes of single individuals invade the rights of single individuals. Unjust laws invade the rights of large bodies of men, often of a majority of the whole community, and generally of that portion of community who, from ignorance and poverty, are least able to bear the wrong. Spooner became more radical as he grew older. He wrote in 1885, 2 years before his death, "All taxes levied upon a man's property for the support of government without his consent are mere robbery, a violation of his natural right to property. The monopoly of money is one of the most glaring violations of men's natural right to make their own contracts, and one of the most effective, perhaps the most effective, for enabling a few men to rob everybody else. The government has no more right to claim the ownership of wilderness lands than it has to claim the ownership of the sunshine, the water, or the atmosphere. By its conscriptions, the government denies a man's right to any will, choice, judgment, or conscience of his own, in regard either to being killed himself or used as a weapon in its hands for killing other people. Spooner was something of a prickly pear. He was gruff, direct, and impatient with any hypocrisy. According to biographer Charles Shivey, his correspondence includes cantankerous and not entirely creditable disputes with friends who failed to understand him. He found romance awkward and never married. But his friend Benjamin Tucker, editor of Liberty magazine, hailed Spooner for his towering strength of intellect, whose sincerity and single-mindedness of purpose, and whose frank and loving heart would endear him to generations to come. On any day except Sunday, for as many years back as the present writer can remember, Tucker continued, a visit to the Boston Athenaeum, is that how you say that? Library between the hours of 9 and 3 have noticed, as nearly all did notice, in one of the alcoves a stooped figure of an aged man bending over a desk piled high with dusty volumes of history, jurisprudence, political science, and constitutional law, and busily absorbing any studying and writing. Had the old man chanced to raise his head for a moment, the visitor would have seen, framed in long and snowy white hair and beard, one of the finest, kindliest, sweetest, strongest, grandest faces that ever gladdened the eyes of man. Lysander Spooner was born on January 19th, 1808, at his father's farm near Athol, Massachusetts, and he was the second of 9 children born to, is that Asa Spooner and Dolly Brown. He took a while to find his calling. He worked on the family farm, did clerical work, and practiced law and speculated unsuccessfully in Ohio land. Then came the Panic of 1837, which got Spooner thinking about the causes of booms and busts. He wrote Constitutional Law relative to credit, currency, and banking in 1843, which explained how government intervention disrupted the banking business. He made a case for 1, repealing legal tender laws, which required that government paper money be accepted for debts, and 2, repealing the requirement that banks be chartered by the government. Mail delivery seemed like a good business, and Spooner decided to challenge federal laws awarding a monopoly to the U.S. Postal Service, which is not a federal government agency. They have a lease that gets renewed every 99 years. On January 23, 1844, he established the American Letter Mail Company to carry mail between Boston and Baltimore. But in 1835, Congress forced Spooner and other private mail carriers out of business. Okay, this is a little bit of a glitch. Because he started this in 1844, but in 1835, Congress forced him out. He wrote in a pamphlet, The Unconstitutionality of the Laws of Congress Prohibiting Private Mails. Booyah, you go. See, he was the blogger of his time, only you had to do pamphlets. Spooner became caught up in the great debate about American slavery. Although Southern lawyers claimed that slavery was supported by the Constitution, and abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison agreed, which is why he denounced the Constitution as an agreement with hell, Spooner thought constitutional arguments could be used against slavery. With some financial assistance from New York philanthropist Gerrit Smith, the major backer of the abolitionist movement, Spooner wrote The Unconstitutionality of Slavery in 1845. He maintained that slavery wasn't supported by American colonial charters, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, or the Constitution. Spooner didn't convince Garrison or his associates, Wendell Phillips, but Spooner did win over the runaway slave and abolitionist orator Frederick Douglass, contributing to the split in the abolitionist movement between those for and against spending political action. Just a minute, let me make sure. Yep. The unconstitutionality of slavery was perhaps more interesting for Spooner's affirmation of natural law. As he explained it, man has an inalienable right to so much personal liberty as he will use without invading the rights of others. This liberty is an inherent right of his nature and his faculties. It is an inherent right of his nature and his faculties to develop themselves freely and without restraint from other natures and faculties that have no superior prerogatives to his own. And this right has only this limit: that he do not carry the exercise of his own liberty so far as to restrain or infringe the equally free development of the natures and faculties of others. The dividing line between equal liberties of each must never be transgressed by either. This principle is the foundation and essence of law and civil right. Back at the family farm, he wrote Poverty, Its Illegal Causes and Legal Cure in 1846. Again, the most interesting passages are about natural rights. He asserted nearly all positive legislation that has ever been passed in this country, either on the part of the general or state governments, touching men's rights to labor or their rights to the fruits of their labor, has been merely an attempt to substitute arbitrary for natural laws, to abolish men's natural right of labor, property, and contract, and in this place establish monopolies and privileges, to rob one portion of mankind of their labors or the fruits of their labors, and give the plunder to the other portion. In 1852, Spooner produced Trial by Jury, which doubled as a scholarly work and a political tract, tracing the history of trial by jury since medieval times in England. He showed how it provided crucial protection against oppressive government. He cited legal documents and legal authorities from Magna Carta to his time, affirming that a jury must be free to hear all facts in a case, without constraint by capricious rules of evidence. Moreover, a jury must be free to render a decision, not just on the facts, but also on the legitimacy of the law which the defendant was charged with violating. A jury must be able to nullify an unjust law. I can think of a lot of them we've got right now that really seriously need to be nullified. Spooner's case for jury nullification came when juries were playing an important role in the movement to liberate American slaves. Congress had enacted the Fugitive Slave Act in 1793, which mandated the return of runaway slaves to their owners. But juries increasingly refused to enforce that law. Hence, political pressures which resulted in the Fugitive Slave Law 1850, which aimed to avoid jury trials. You know, them bleeding heart liberals that actually thought that it doesn't matter what color someone's skin is. A man is a man is a man. And I am using the colloquial. I am using the editorial. Just because I say a man does not mean I am ignoring the female of the species. For all of you butt puckering feminists out there, as if any of you are listening in. To carry on. Instead, it permitted a summary process before federal judges. Limiting who can make the decisions. See how you are. Slave hunters provided satisfactory proof of ownership, and they could take possession of the runaways who weren't permitted to testify in their behalf because their skin color made them subhuman, don't you know? Whereas there were other people that deemed that to be completely irrelative. Skin color is irrelative in those matters. They are alive, therefore they have natural rights. Period. End of discussion. There were jury trials involving individuals charged with helping runaway slaves. In one famous case, United States versus Morris, a slave known as Shadrach escaped from Norfolk, Virginia, and reached Boston, where, known as Frederick Jenkins, he served as a waiter at the Cornhill Coffee House. In February 1851, he was discovered by a slave hunter who took him to a federal judge for summary proceedings under the fugitive slave law. But a crowd burst into the courtroom, escorted Shadrach out, and over to Cambridge, where he vanished. Although he eventually made his way to Canada, 8 individuals, 4 whites and 4 blacks, were charged with rescuing him and thereby violating the fugitive slave law. The jury trial began in May of 1851. Defense counsel went beyond challenging the facts in the case and declared the jury were rightfully the judges of the law as well as the fact. And if any of them conscientiously believed the Act of 1850, commonly called the Fugitive Slave Act, to be unconstitutional, they were bound by their oaths to disregard any direction to the contrary which the court may give them. Judge Benjamin Curtis was so shocked by this line of argument that he cut off the defense counsel. He told the jurors that they have not the right to decide any question of law. Bite me? They must apply the facts as they may find them, the law given to them by the court. Curtis issued an opinion warning of chaos if jurors could reject whatever laws they wanted to. The jury disregarded the judge's opinion and acquitted the defendants. Nobody was convicted for helping Shadrach escape to freedom. Without jury nullification, Spooner warned, the government will have everything its own way. Yeah, we write the rules, we enforce the rules, and you have no say in the rules. You just have to play the game, whether you want to or not. Unless you have jury nullification. If you don't have it, the jury will be mere puppets in the hands of the government, and the trial will be, in reality, a trial by the government. If the government may dictate to the jury what laws they are to enforce, the jury then try the accused not by any standard of their own, not by their own judgments of their rightful liberties, but by a standard dictated to them by that fictitious entity of government. And the standard thus dictated by the government becomes the measure of the people's liberties. The government determines what are its own powers over the people. I make the rules because I said so. Instead of the people determining what are their own liberties against the government. In short, if the jury have no right to judge of the justice of a law of the government, they plainly can do nothing to protect the people against the oppressions of the government. For there are no oppressions which the government may not authorize by law. And wowzer, 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 are we living that right now in this land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah. You're free to believe what they tell you to believe. Period. End of discussion. So they say. He rejected the claim that people are adequately protected by the right to vote. Voting, he observed, can be exercised only periodically, and the tyranny must at least be borne until the time for suffrage comes around. Besides, when the suffrage is exercised, it gives no guarantee for the repeal of existing laws that are oppressive, and no security against the enactment of new ones that are equally so. The second body of legislators are liable to be just as tyrannical as the first. Yeah, buddy. And if it be said that the second body may be chosen for their integrity, the answer is that the first were chosen for that very reason, and yet proved to be tyrants. Would jury nullification introduce more uncertainty, undermining a rule of law? Spooner countered by observing that the principal sources of uncertainty in the legal system come from innumerable and incessantly changing legislative enactments. For your own good, don't you know? And of countless and contradictory judicial decisions, with no uniform principle of reason or justice running through them. So great is this uncertainty that nearly all men, learned as well as unlearned, shun the law as their enemy, instead of resorting to it for protection. They usually go into courts of justice, so called, only as men going into battle, when there is no alternative left for them. And even then, they go into them as men go into dark labyrinths and caverns, with no knowledge of their own, but trusting wholly to their guides. Spooner was alarmed to see how the Civil War brought a vast expansion of federal power. In the North, there was military conscription, paper money inflation, aka greenbacks, tariffs as high as 100%, excise, sales, inheritance and income taxes, censorship of mail, telegraphs and newspapers, jailing people without filing formal charges. Is this starting to sound familiar? History's repeating itself here, people. The Lincoln administration imprisoned some 14,000 civilians. Many of these measures were taken without congressional approval. Starting to sound more familiar? Most fighting took place in the South, which was devastated. The overall death toll exceeded 625,000 people. After the war, the federal government maintained a standing army 50% higher than before the war began. Federal spending as a proportion of the national economy was twice as high after the war than before. The national debt, which was about 65 million with an M here, when the Civil War began, largely a consequence of the Mexican War, skyrocketed to 2.8 billion with a B, and interest and that accounted for more than 40% of the federal budget through the mid-1870s. History repeating itself. All of this radicalized Spooner. He drew closer to some ideas of American inventor and social philosopher Josiah Warren in perhaps his most important work, No Treason, No Treason Number 6, Constitution of No Authority. Spooner attacked the dishonesty of government, which, like a highwayman, says to a man, "Your money or your life." And many, if not most, taxes are paid under the compulsion of that threat. The government does not, indeed, waylay a man in a lonely place, spring upon him from a roadside, and holding a pistol to his head, proceed to rifle his pockets. But the robbery is nonetheless a robbery on that account. It is far more dastardly and shameful. The highwayman takes solely upon himself the responsibility, danger, and crime of his own act. He does not pretend that he has any rightful claim to your money, or that he intends to use it for your own benefit, for your own good, don't you know. He does not pretend to be anything but a robber. He has not acquired impudence enough to profess to be merely a protector, and that he takes men's money against their will merely to enable him to protect those infatuated travelers who feel perfectly able to protect themselves or do not appreciate his peculiar system of protection. He's too sensible a man to make such professions as these. Furthermore, having taken your money, he leaves you as you wish to do. He does not persist in following you on the road against your will, assuming to be your rightful sovereign on account of the protection he affords you. Spooner got to know the eloquent journalist and editor Benjamin Tucker, who believed government is so incompetent, dishonest, and violent that people would be better off without it. Can you say anarchist? Tucker was born in South Dartmouth, Massachusetts in April of 1854, and he described his parents as radical Unitarians. After 3 years at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that's MIT nowadays, he decided that he was more interested in politics than science, and he plunged into the movements for alcohol prohibition and women's suffrage. He embraced free banking, the view that market competition is more effective than government regulation at maintaining sound banking practices. He met the radical libertarian author and entrepreneur Joseph Warren, whose ideas had an impact on his thinking. And on August the 6th of 1881, Tucker launched Liberty. Although he asserted his editorial independence, he welcomed a wide range of radical views. He helped make better known the ideas of individualist Josiah Warren, the egoist ethics of German author Max Stirner, the liberating vision of Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen, and all of this have helped Tucker clarify his own thinking, because after a few years he insisted that secure private property is essential for liberty, and he attacked communism. Tucker edited Liberty for 27 years. As independent scholar James J. Martin noted, Liberty preserved sufficient vitality to become the longest lived of any radical periodical of economic or political nature in the nation's history, and certainly one of the world's most interesting during the past 2 centuries. Spooner's major contribution to liberty was a letter to Grover Cleveland, to which he added a cantankerous subhead: his false inaugural address, the usurpations and crimes of lawmakers and judges, and the consequent poverty, ignorance, and servitude of the people. There were 19 installments beginning in June 20th of 1885, and they were gathered into a book published in July. The work was a response to the inaugural address of Cleveland, considered a relatively honest U.S. president. Relatively is a relative term. I mean that. In this work, Spooner eloquently lashed out against military conscription, which had been resorted to during the Civil War. The government does not ever recognize a man's right to his own life, he protested. If it have need of him for the maintenance of its power, it takes him against his will, or conscripts him, and puts him before the cannon's mouth to be blown in pieces, as if he were a mere senseless thing, having no more rights than if he were a shell. Spooner lived out his life quietly as scholar in the boarding house on Boston's Beacon Hill at 109 Myrtle Street, and Tucker reported that he was surrounded by trunks and chests, bursting with books, manuscripts, and pamphlets which he'd gathered about him in his active pamphleteer's warfare over over half a century ago. In early 1887, he became seriously ill, but skeptical of doctors, he delayed seeking medical attention. With Tucker apparently by his side, he died May 14, 1887, at around 1 p.m. Tucker and abolitionist Theodore Weld were among those who spoke at the memorial gathering at Wells Memorial Hall in Boston. Spooner, Tucker declared, had a mind which was clean, keen, clear, penetrating, incisive, logical, orderly, careful, convincing, and crushing, and set forth withal in the style of singular strength, purity, and individuality. Spooner was buried in Boston's Forest Hill Cemetery. He seemed to be a forgotten man, but in recent years, as a number of thinkers explored the moral basis for liberty, his writings were rediscovered. 6 volumes of his collected works were reprinted in 1971, The Lysander Spooner Reader. It appeared in 1992. Now there's a Spooner website, and there is a link here, which makes available information about the man and his writings. His ideas on liberty are soaring through cyberspace into a new millennium. There. History lesson about someone that unfortunately I did not learn about them in high school, but I am ever so glad I have learned of them now, because I can share it with you. And y'all need to know about this, if for no other reason than to have an argument and to carry your weight. I see that, Grammy. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. I think Spooner planted a seed, Beth. And you know, sometimes that seed takes a little while to germinate and to actually get something. Ouch. Rascal, get down. You know, to actually get something to grow. Yeah. Let's see. Years ago, I remember hearing three young idiots all jumped in at the same time and got third degree. What idiots? Good Lord. I'm catching up on the read here. And yeah, those things do smell like egg farts, Meisterbrow. Um, let's see. New meme, separation of economy and state. Yes, you most definitely have to have that, Ron Paul. And I wonder if maybe Ron Paul didn't read a lot of. Yeah. And Harry Brown. I don't know. I'm just thinking that some of this stuff is really new for me as well. I mean, I've been reading up on some stuff and you know, doing some research, but don't you know, I only have so much, and my brain can only take in and actually retain so much before I need to take a break. But this, I found this quite fascinating. But you know, I'm really not so much of a historian as I am. I get little life lessons from everything I read, and I've read an awful lot of fictional works and science fiction and that kind of stuff that, you know, in order for a story to be a good story, one that keeps you wanting to read it, it has to have that human element in it. And in order to have the human element, you have to be able to relate to it. And so even if you're reading fictional stuff, you learn lessons. And I've learned an awful lot of, I think I learned an awful lot of lessons just with reading the stuff that I have. But it's really nice to see historical people that, yeah. Because like I said, I didn't know about him in high school or after high school. You know, I was kind of a dummy. Not necessarily a dummy, but not knowledgeable in that area. Oh, Harry Brown was a Libertarian Party leader. Okay, thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth. I did not know that. Thank you very much. Let me see how my stream is doing. Yeah, I got about a half hour to go. I'm just knocking wood. That's all I got to say. Knocking wood. Thank you, Beth. I did not know that. Thank you ever so much for that information. I will do some digging on him now, because that's quite interesting. And now I'm going to go back to my pocket because I do have a few other things that I put in there that were not absolutely horrid things. Let's see. Now I just need to find them because I have to get past all of the horrid things. Have y'all heard about Momondo.com? That's just really, really an interesting thing. I would really like to have my DNA family tree done, so that, and then someone give me the tickets so I could go visit every country that because I'm a Heinz 57. I really am. So there's probably lots of countries that I would go visit. Just saying. Here we go. Here's a cool one. Seeing as how I got not a whole heck of a lot of time left in my regularly scheduled time, and I really don't want to push it tonight. So hopefully Friday night will be a lot better. This is from leafscience.com. A study found that marijuana compounds protect the nervous system in MS. So if you have multiple sclerosis, while marijuana has been shown to relieve symptoms of multiple sclerosis, scientists are finding that it may even protect the nervous system from further damage. And I do believe I already did this. I do believe, because I think I went to the old Israel, Tel Aviv, Weitzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this link. And I'm going to delete it out of my pocket, seeing as yep. I recognize that image. I'll share it again, because it needs to be shared again. Keep this shit going. And then I'll go back and look at my pocket. Maybe I'll have to scroll back farther. Because, yeah, it looks like I have a lot of ugly in here. A lot. Okay, here we go. No, not that one. Yeah. No. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be brave. And I'm gonna see if I can open Oopie. And find something there. Just do it, Grammy. Just do it. Just be brave. Let's see. Wow. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Actually, there's a couple of them. These are, it's not just here. From UPI.com, a flock of 1,000 sheep invade a Spanish city. They must have come to vote. You suppose? It's my turn. A flock of 1,000 sheep were seen freely roaming about the streets in a Spanish city after escaping from their shepherd. Because they were on a rampage, don't you know? Police shared a video of the massive herd of sheep at around 4:30 a.m. Okay, people. When you say 4:30 a.m., you don't need to say Tuesday morning. I know there's an awful lot of people out there that still have an issue with AM and PM as to which applies to what time of day. I know a gal right here that no, PM is after midnight, past midnight. That's what she said PM stands for. Oh, yeah. And AM stands for after morning. I'm not shitting you. They're out there and they vote. In any case, yeah. 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday. This was after receiving a report of hundreds of sheep running loose on a nearby street. Oh, wow. At first it was hundreds, now it's 1,000. According to the local, the sheep were in the process of being herded to pastures in the Pyrenees when the shepherd fell asleep, allowing them to escape. See, that's what we need to do. We just need to wait for the shepherd to go to sleep, and then we can all just make a run for it. With the help of the police, the shepherd was able to herd each of the 1,300 sheep to their proper destination by 7 a.m. Well, it doesn't seem like they had a whole hell of a lot of freedom there, does it? I'm thinking that's, 2.5 hours? Unless that's Common Core math. That's what I'm thinking. Wow. Not too much freedom. That's what happens. You snooze, you lose, unless you got the popo to help you, and then you can gather them back up again. Hi. Okay. Seeing as how that didn't take very long. Damn it. I just really don't. I'm nervous about pushing it. Okay. Here you go. Wow. This is also on UPI. Frog run over by lawnmower in Australia, airlifted for medical treatment. Now, is this going to be one of those punny stories where a bird came by and picked it up, or did someone seriously? Apparently, an Australian woman Nope, she did it. An Australian woman went to extraordinary measures to care for a frog after she accidentally ran over it with her lawnmower. Whew. Oopsie. Min Timms ran over the green tree frog while mowing her lawn and subsequently contacted her niece, Felicia Morgan, and told the Brisbane Times that she asked her to say prayers for the frog. She had rung me up devastated because she was mowing the lawn and didn't see the frog who was underneath, and he got clipped behind his head. The two women came together and attempted to care for the frog by treating the wound with gauze from a first aid kit. After attempting to patch the wound, Timms and Morgan contacted Deborah. They contacted Deborah. I'm not butchering that last name. Who is the president of Frog Safe Frog Hospital in Cairns. I knew we were going to save him because he was a little critter to begin with, and he survived the first night. Okay. Oh, a little fighter, excuse me. Okay. The women coordinated with Deborah to have the frog properly packaged and flown about 800 miles to the hospital. Wow. The only thing that we could do to help this lady was to get the frog to the hospital, Deborah said, and that started a big bureaucratic process of finding out which airlines now had the contract to service Mount Isa and Cairns and contacting them, and they had to contact their animal handling people. Yay. After passing through airport security, because I'm sure that little tree frog was a terrorist, don't you know? And receiving assistance from 3 different businesses, including a free flight, the frog arrived to receive treatment. As we were recovering... What? As we were recovering the injury and getting all that cleaned up, we discovered that he had some internal parasites. So that might have made him ill enough to be out on the lawn to begin with during the daylight hours. She added that most people don't consider that frogs can receive treatment, and said that the frog was fortunate that Timms and Morgan went to such lengths to care for it. He's an extremely lucky animal to have survived being run over by basically a blender on wheels. Thanks. And we paid a huge amount of attention to him, but he has recovered very well. Well, I am so happy for that. And you know, I gotta say, I had a frog rescue mission myself last night. I went out to water the garden and to fill one of the dog's water dishes. I have several around the yard because in this heat, you have to have several. And this was actually one of the smaller dishes. It only holds like about 5 gallons. I have, it's not the smallest one, but it's one of the smaller ones. I also have a little kid swimming pool out there that they not only drink out of, but they splish splash in. But I had a froggy that was having a hell of a time. Apparently it had jumped into the one that holds 5 gallons of water, thinking that, yeah, I can cool off, and not realizing it couldn't get out. And my little Snuffles, who has a tendency to like to bite frogs, doesn't make any difference that they make her foam at the mouth. Dippy dog. She likes to go after frogs. Apparently that movement just is like, oh, look, it's a new toy. And it makes a noise when she bites it, so it's a squeak toy. So I had to chase her away several times because she kept... And I think the only reason she didn't get the frog was that meant she would have to actually put her face in the water. And she's a wussy like that, so she didn't do it. But, yeah, I reached in, I saved little Froggy, and I turned it loose in my garden and said, "Be free, Froggy, be free." And then Snuffles decided she was going to try and go in my garden, so I had to do the whole stompy thing and yell at her and say, "Ah!" Which made her come up short, and she looked at me like, What? What? It's moving. It makes noise. It's my toy, right? No. It is a little toady frog. Actually, it was a toad, not a frog. But yeah, I saved a toad yesterday. And no, I don't have any warts from it. Goofy balls. Okay, let's see. What else? Where else can I go? Should I find a Florida? Because I haven't been to Florida in a while. And I think that's where Free and Slave hangs out, isn't it? Is that where you hang out, Free? Your place of residence. How about I just close Oopie and then just type in Florida and see what I get? How's that sound? There you go. Let's see. What do we have? Weird Florida news. Let's go there. Let's go there, shall we? Okay. Now, I remember seeing in the chat earlier that Trust No One was recommending that everybody buy vodka, which vodka really is a very good investment. And, you know, for the most part, you don't have to buy the most expensive one unless you plan on drinking it, you know, and even then you don't have to get the most expensive one, but you do want to get one that kind of tastes decent. But yeah, get you some cheapy vodka because you can make all kinds of shit with vodka. And I'm not talking destructive things. I'm talking things that are useful around the house. You know, like cleaners and disinfectants and all kinds of cool shit that you can do with vodka. So yeah, vodka is a wise investment. Just putting that out there. But apparently, this is from the sunsentinel.com in their Strange Florida blog. Well, holy Florida. Girlfriend won't buy you vodka? Hello, 911. It's not bad enough that down there they have people calling 911 because they ran out of Chicky McNuggets. Now, if your girlfriend don't buy you a drink, you can call 911 and bitch to them. By fair means or foul, a man named Means managed to get locked up in jail after apparently becoming boozed and confused. Jack Means, who was 3 sheets to the wind, was PO'd after his girlfriend wouldn't buy him vodka. So he called 911 to report his neighbors were fighting. They weren't. Deputies said that they wasted more than an hour on this call because he was drunk and pissed because where's my vodka? I want vodka. Let's see. Oh, and to get the details, here we go. Let's check out the other link. And hopefully I won't. There, I'm doing okay. When deputies showed up, there was no yelling and there was no scene. Deputies said it was a prank and neighbors said it wasn't funny, which, no, I would not find it amusing either. You call the po-po on me, I'm going to be just a wee bit miffed. Each time the deputy is sent to a non-emergency call, the taxpayers' dollars spent and the officer's time is wasted. We got a hold of a 911 call and, okay, let me see. What? Don't give me all this gobbledygook. According to the report, the caller, Jack Means, was drunk. He was angry when his girlfriend wouldn't buy him alcohol, so he decided to call 911. He went to his house tonight and asked us to leave. Oh, what? The more time that is being spent... You just said that, you guys. Please, edit your shit. It's certainly a waste of officers' time and the emergency response team's time, which, yes, it is, although he's really lucky he didn't get tased. Just saying. And I would say that it's a waste of money for us as taxpayers. I don't like to hear that servicemen and women have to spend their time sorting out something that clearly could have been taken care of between the individuals themselves. Obviously, that is most cases out there. Clearly, if people would pull up their big boy tidy whities and their big girl panties and just frickin' talk to each other like responsible adults and be respectful to and for each other, we wouldn't need the po-po. Don't you know? But apparently, that's not going to happen anytime in the near future. At least not for a vast majority of people. Wow. Florida rides again. Okay. Well, let's go back to Florida and see what else we got here. Shall we? And that's the same damn link. I don't want that link. There was another one, but... Okay, let me see what this one is. Ah! And one more Florida, just to get us through. Oh, wow, and this is from February. Police used their noodle to put a suspect in hot water. And a mail carrier has something to carp about. Oh, hey, cool. So here's a fish story that's not a fish tale. A letter carrier in St. Cloud opened a mailbox and found a dead fish inside. Ew. Police in Fort Pierce say that the guy wanted a woman to believe he was a cop, and a man in Boca Raton ran over his neighbor as his neighbor was walking home with some meatball takeout. Wow. Wow. There's all kinds of videos here of absolutely wonderful examples of Florida. Wow. And I'm not going to go to the videos. I'm just not. Okay. Let me see here. Y'all are being entirely too quiet. Don't you know? Nobody talking in the chats. Oh, did y'all see that? Okay, let me go back there. I got to go there. Because this is one that, wow. I mean, there's a video attached to it. But, holy smokes. This is ballsy. Or ignorant. Or both. I'm not really sure which one. And once again, it's in Florida. Holy smokes. Okay, a Florida mom got an off-duty deputy thwart the abduction of a 13-year-old girl in a store. And if you watch the video, holy shit. He's at it again. That damn Oriental guy. I wish he'd just slow down a bit. Because I'm tired of his name coming up all the time. Surveillance video captured a dramatic scene inside a Florida convenience store where a man allegedly attempted to kidnap a 13-year-old girl. Suspect Craig Bonello entered the store Tuesday and grabbed the teen who was shopping with her mother. Bonello, who is 30, can be seen on the surveillance video pulling the girl by her arms and dragging her to the front door. Police said of the midday incident, which happened about 80 miles west of Orlando. Sheriff Jeff Dawsey said that he was intentionally shopping around the girl and seen stretching on the video. He searched out his victim and went after that child. But the teen's mother jumped into action, which, grabbing the daughter's arm while fighting off Bonello. He got his butt kicked by the mom, and that was the great thing about the video, Dawsey said, which, yeah, it was, but it's like, good Lord, talk about being frickin' ballsy. Man. Bonello eventually let go and ran out of the door just as off-duty Citrus County Sheriff's Deputy Jonathan Bennon was getting out of his patrol car to enter the store. And that's when the store manager yelled to him for help. I saw a commotion inside and knew something wasn't right, Bennon said in a press conference. He jumped back into his patrol car and blocked Bonello from driving out of the parking lot. Grabbed his gun and ordered Bonello out of his car, arrested him, and took him into custody. Which I thought that's what arresting was taking someone into custody, but apparently I'm wrong. In my 10 years on the road, I have never seen anything like this, said Citrus County Sheriff Sergeant Craig Callahan. He truly intended to abduct this child right in front of everyone in the store. And seriously, you need to watch. It's like, holy, what the hell was he on? Wow. That's just absolutely crazy. Okay. Well, you know what? I am just about out of time for my regularly scheduled time. So I am going to go ahead and cut out of here and actually go out and put some water on my garden because, yeah, it's freaking hot out there. And although I watered it really good this morning, I'm sure it's really, really thirsty again. Y'all have been listening to Grammy's Rocket Chair, or since I finally got things to working again, here on RealLibertyMedia.com, Channel 3, also on the RLM Tune-In station, the RLM Internet Radio station, and the RLM Spreaker channel. Thanks, y'all, for listening in, for putting up with the technical faux pas, and for putting up with me, quite frankly. I will be back on Friday with the Freaker Friday edition of Grammy's Rocket Chair. And don't forget, Friday evening will be the Freakers Ball, although I do believe it will be balls to the wall because Moosey has a life. And she's a young lady, and she's going to go partying at the Blue Ox Fest. And I'm going to live vicariously through her. So, from a distance. Oh, well, y'all have an absolutely awesome rest of your wackadoodle Wednesday. And I hope tomorrow is an absolutely spectacular shit day. Sure happy it's Thursday because the next day's Friday. Until then, I love you all. And I wish you all enough. Good night.